Hey guys, since today is the 4 year anniversary of the death of my grandfather, um, sorry, usually I would get happy and everything and excited. Um, um, Back when I was a kid, we would watch like a ton of movies together. We would watch the Universal monster movies like Dracula, Frankenstein, The Wolfman, you name it. But there was also another franchise that he got me into, and that is the James Bond movies. And I figure since he got me into the Bond movies, I was thinking of reviewing possibly his personal favorite, and that is Goldfinger. That is the third movie to star Sean Connery in the role of James Bond, and for my opinion, it's probably Sean Connery's best Bond movie. He done like six, and there's also the unofficial, seven total. Including the unofficial one, Never Say Never Again, which was released back in the '80s. So, if that counts for you, that's fine. But for me, it doesn't count because it's not exactly in the same continuity as the other Bond movies in the series. So, yeah. So the plot of Goldfinger, if you haven't seen the movie, so this time, Bond is trying to stop this man or Goldfinger uh, from using an atomic bomb to that will make all the gold supply in the United States and Fort Knox. That would be, if the bomb went off, it would the gold would be radioactive for, half a century. And he's, the villain, he's going into possibly the world's largest bank back in the day, not to steal any gold, but to make it radioactive. Now that's clever because, making gold radioactive, it would be useless. Yeah. So, Goldfinger, he's probably one of the best Bond villains. He's definitely one of my favorites. If I had to make a list of my best Bond villains, I would definitely my favorite Bond villains. There's a lot of competition. There's Lashif and Casino Royale. There's Silva and Skyfall. And there's Blofeld, who's been played by many other actors in the franchise. I would have to say my personal favorite Blofeld actor was probably Telly Savalas, who was in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which was the sixth Bond movie, and Christopher Waltz. I hope I said that right, from Spectre, uh, and Goldfinger was the first movie to introduce the Aston Martin DB5, which became Bond's car in some entries in the series. He got like plenty of other cars, and of course we get the injector seat scene. Oh, I love that scene so much. And then there's the uh, uh, one of my favorite scenes in Goldfinger would have to be when Bond's like tied out to a table and Goldfinger turns on a laser and he's almost about to cut Bond in half and Bond's like, "Do you expect me to talk?" And Goldfinger's like, "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." That's a really great scene. And once he meets Pussy Galore, who's one of the Bond girls in this movie, Bond wakes up and he's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "My name is Pussy Galore." He just turns back and he's like, "I must be dreaming." uh, yeah. So yeah, Goldfinger is definitely one of the best Bond movies. Definitely one of the best Bond movies from the '60s. And definitely one of, I mean, it's definitely Sean Connery's best Bond movie, and possibly my favorite movie with Sean Connery, period. Uh, I honestly think that this is a flawless movie, and I loved it ever since I was a kid, and I'm gonna give Goldfinger an A plus. I mean, you can't hate Goldfinger. I mean, who would hate Goldfinger? It's a great Bond movie, and it's one of the few Bond movies that I watched with my grandpa that got me into the franchise. So, I mean, I love this franchise ever since I started watching it. I was like 11 when I first watched it, so it's a. I mean, I love I love the Bond series. Well, most of them. As for ones that I hate, I would have to make another video in order to like talk about that. So yeah, and also this year also marks the 4-year anniversary for of Robin Williams. So rest in peace and rest in peace, Papa. I miss you so much. Yeah, so I had to get that off my chest. So I'm trying to figure out what other movies that I want to review. So thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. You guys are the best. And thank you, Nikki, for like um, our review for Ant Man and the Wasp. And of course, this amazing work of art. You're the best, baby. I love you so much. So, yeah, until next time, peace.